Hello, everybody. This is Becky here at Aunt Beck's Creations, and as promised, I'm here. 3 o'clock was my start time, but I always like to come on about 10 minutes early just to say hello to people that come in and to maybe go over supplies. I'll go over supplies as people come in. I know everybody's probably waiting till the 3 o'clock, but I am here. I am ready to go and so happy to be back online. I don't know where I'm getting that shadow from, but I want it to go away. That's a little better, a little brighter. Hi, Rose. I hope you're doing well today. And I decided I would do ATCs, and if I can do 4, then I will post 4 of the artist trading cards a day challenge that Chelsea and Peg are doing. So I've got more than 4 cut out, and this is just, I'll go over supplies as people are coming in. I decided I was going to do mine as artist trading cards, and I cut some mixed media paper into the 2.5 by 3.5, and I've got way more here than I'll be able to complete in 2 hours. But I'm going to separate 4 out. 2, 3, 4, and that way I'll have an artist trading card for the first 4 days of June, and I'll be caught up with everybody. And I can't remember, was it Kathy? I think it was Kathy wanted to know what the gold was I had used on the boho tag that I had sent her, and it's this stuff. It's Faber-Castell's Texture Luxe Gold. And this was on clearance at Hobby Lobby. So if you have a Hobby Lobby, check their clearance area. It is super, super gold. This stuff is amazing. Let me see if I can get it open. You don't get a whole lot, so I'm kind of glad I got it on deep clearance. But see, it's really, really shiny. I might add some of that to my artist trading cards. We'll see how far I get first. So that was just to tell Kathy about. She'll have to watch this from the beginning later to see. So you need whatever base you're going to do, whether it's an artist trading card or an index card or whatever. I'm going to paint mine all solid black. And then I'm going to do my dots in a variety of colors and gold. And then I'm either going to do the tat part that Mary Dell's been showing, either with this black pen, which is not as sharp as it needs to be. You need something with a nice point. Or I might just do my white Posca pen because I'm using black as my background. I've got a couple pencils to maybe sketch an idea of what I'm going to do my dots in. I'm thinking about doing several different things, but a tree of life is something I would love to do. And then I've got paint brushes. And what you want is you want paint brushes that don't have any little nubs on the end. You want them to be kind of smoothed over. I've got some others that have like a little divot or whatever on the back, and it makes it so the dots don't come out perfectly round. So that's what I've got. I've got my jug of water here to rinse paintbrushes off. The first thing I'm going to do, I use this brush all the time to lay down just a background color. I'm going to get it wet and start with painting these black. Rose, you must be the only one that wants to talk. Oh, there's Lottie. And there goes my phone. Let me grab that because my son's dealing with some sadness. So see if I just put it where I can see it in case he needs me. Oh, it was a message from Liz Dindale. I'll check that later. So I hope everybody's doing good today. I'm just going to paint these. And my bases are mixed media paper, so I can get them wet and whatever. And I just want a black base because I think the colors on black will look awesome. And this is just Americana paint. And I'm just going to try to get it smooth. I could have painted these beforehand, but I just decided, well, it won't take but a minute. They're only 2.5 by 3.5. And I know some people have other obligations at this time of day, so that's fine. They'll either watch the replay or not. That's fine too. It's curling up a bit, but as it dries, it'll smooth out. But no, I thought I'd kill two birds with one stone. I'd show y'all what I meant by dots and tats for the group project. And then I would also make 4 artist trading cards so I could, participate in the artist trading cards a day through June. It'd be so much fun to have 30 unique trading cards at the end of the month. That's why I want to do 4 different designs and not make these all exactly the same. Boy, those are really curling. And I put some brown paper down just so I could have cleanup paper. Yeah, sometimes it's fun to watch the replays, because if you're like doing, like I like to do Lisa's pick 10s if I can't catch her live, or Cindy, if Cindy does hers live. If I can't catch them, then I can do the replay, and where she's I'm ready to move on, but she's not quite, I can make her talk fast. Scott was late for work. I think he lost track of time. And I went down to the garage. I said, don't you have to be to work at 2:30? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, it's 2:01 now. He's like, oh boy, this is stupid work. He said, I just want to stay home and play in the garage. I was like, well, 6 more years and you can do that. And what I love about acrylic paint is it dries so fast. I probably got more than I needed. But you know what? I've got those other cards already cut. I can clean my brush off on one of these. I'm thinking I might need to go down and paint at the house next week for a couple days, because next weekend we won't be going down, but I could go down there and spend the night and then work a little bit on the house and then come back up. I'm just going to clean this brush out now. So I'm just getting backgrounds ready. There's Janet. Yeah, that's why I like to leave the chat up, because I think when people come back and they watch the replay and I'm responding to you guys, it'd be nice if they knew what I was talking about. And I figure, once it's out there anyway. All right. I'm going to set that one aside because that one's not as total as these others. So this one I think is the one I started with because it's almost dry. See if I can catch up with chat while these are drying. You can see as this mixed media paper dries, it kind of smooths back out. So it's just got that one little spot left to dry. fan it a little bit and see if it'll do. So what's everybody else working on today? If you didn't want to start with a black background, the main reason I did is I'd really like to use my white Posca pen for the the drawn tat portion of it, because I think white on the black background would look pretty cool. I'm looking at this thinking I should have done there, but you know what? I can ink that later. Let's see if we can just do this. It's almost dry. Rose, you're doing boho? I just went on a few minutes early, and all I've been doing is painting my backgrounds black. I haven't really done anything as far as making dots or doing any of the tatting. I like to come on a little bit early, sometimes just to chit-chat with everybody as it's coming in, and then that way, when 3 o'clock runs around, we're ready to get busy. So people that are new that show up at 3 o'clock, I'm already active and they don't have to listen to me say hi to everybody. Hi, you know. That one's almost dry. This one's actually drier than that one. So I'm going to start with this one, I guess. Put these over closer to my light. Maybe they'll dry out quicker. And I've got the pencils I got this idea that maybe if I did a light pencil drawing, I could control my dots. Because I know Dawn, who said she couldn't make it today, she said she had a horrible time trying to do the dots. She said she felt like her dots just ran amok. So I thought for the Tree of Life one that I'd love to do is I was just going to take my pencil and just do a light kind of shape that I'm looking for, and maybe just do it real light. I'll probably get quiet when I'm doing this part of it because I'm focusing so much. I don't know what this is going to look like, but we're going to start making dots on here. So I don't know if you guys can see. I've just done a tree with a swirly top. There, see? And what I'll do is I'm going to form my dots along my lines. And then once it's totally dry, before I clear coat it or anything, I will try to erase some of these pencil marks. And I don't know how well that's going to work, but I figure I'd give it a go and a try. In fact, I think what I'd like to do is maybe have where the roots come up and join. I don't know how that's going to be, but I think I can do that part without drawing it. I'm going to test and just see how it erases on the black. I don't know that it's going to erase off the black. Yeah, there it goes. All right. Janet, your boho tag envelopes are going to be amazing. You just keep making stuff. So I'm going to start with something that'll show up really good, the Bahama Blue. This used to be one of my favorite colors to stock. I'd see it come in and it just made me happy when I got stuck doing the paint area, which wasn't too often. It would depend if the girl that did it had to be out with her children. I'm just going to put a little dot of paint. I'm going to choose a paintbrush here. kind of like the handle, the way that the back of it, because I don't use the bristles. I use the back of the paintbrush. I learned this from Barb Owen. Hi, Crafting with Ivy. And there's Eva. Hi, Mia. Mia has asked if she could put her artwork on my Facebook page, and I said, of course. And this goes for anybody else that's a member of the Facebook group. If you want to add pictures of your art, that's wonderful. I would suggest, though, that you create an album for your things so that if somebody wanted to gain inspiration from it a little bit in the future, it would be easier for them to go back and find it if they could go to an album with your name on it, if that makes sense. All right, so the first dot you make, that'll be your biggest dot. And then if you make another dot, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. So that's how I don't just go back and dip and redip. So if you want to do it and you want different size dots, you just keep making dots until the dots are gone. You see how that does? Thank you, Janet. Oh, I love this Bahama blue. I went to the Bahamas once before I met Scott, and I just loved it down there. I had such a wonderful time. Got horribly sunburned at first, but then because of the skin I have, it just bronzes. So by the time I came back, I was just this golden brown. But then, you know, when you get a tan that deep, how nasty it looks on your neck when it starts to fade, and it just kind of, ugh. So what I'm going to do is, because I want the smallest dot to be at the middle of my spiral, I'm going to come away from my end and just start with a larger dot and then just smaller and smaller down to my center of my thing. And see how it got smaller? That's how you get your variations. Oh, went out a little far, so I'm going to go back over them real quick, some of them, just to get them a little darker. There we go. And I guess this would be one way to gain control over your dots. And I kind of like that I'm getting the variation along the whole length of the branch that comes up. I like that. I think that's going to look really cool. All right, now I'll pick another one in a different area. I like to put the color in 3 different places. So I think I'm going to do this one here. Let's see if I can get my fingers. My brother and his wife and their 3 kids are on their way to Russia to visit her family. The twins are 2 now, and I don't remember if their grandma's gotten. I know my sister-in-law's brother hasn't seen them yet, so they'll get to meet their uncle that's over there. But they left to go over there, I think, yesterday. All right, so I'm going to lift it up just so you can see it. So you can create any shape you want. You could do a teacup in dots, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Mary's tatting around the edge. And I just think the pair will look really cool together. And what I should have done is come up with some other designs so I could go ahead and finish using this up. My paint's not real clear on some of these, so I'm going to try going back and just dotting again. There we go. And every once in a while, you'll have to clean your paintbrush off, because if you don't, it'll get too big of a buildup. And I'm just going to rinse it off real quick. And your dots won't turn out nice and round. They'll be all different wobbly shapes. So I'm thinking I'll grab another one and I'll just kind of draw another shape. Maybe a teacup. Should I do a teacup? Yeah, Mia pops up here and there and all around, Janet. She's kind of like you. Hi, Dawn. So I'm going to do a teacup on this one. Let's see. I always like to draw my upper rim first. And then let's make it a fancy teacup. I should have started higher. That's okay. I want this to be rounded. Okay, I don't know what I'm going to get, but I'm just going to start a design on this. And I can always clean it up as I go. It's just a base sketch. So I think on this one, I'm going to do oh dear. Okay, that's just, whew, thought I'd messed it up. Oh, didn't pick up enough paint. See, it's not doing, so I've got to clean when it doesn't make a perfect circle, I know I've got too much of a buildup, or I've picked up paint booger, as I call them. Set that one to dry. All right. What if we do I'm going to try a peacock feather. Oh, Susan's working at cleaning up her craft room. We are trying to recover from the cable being connected. So we've got piles of stuff we've got to go through that were in the little room that we pulled out of there real quick so that he could get in there and install a line. So I feel your pain. Okay. See, it's globbing up now. It's not doing. We are missing Tippy and Howie. They weren't here when we got home last night, and we got a really bad feeling because we heard an odd noise outside last night, and after we'd gone to bed, and we looked it up, and it was a red fox. So I'm terribly worried something has happened to the babies, but we're gonna try to stay positive about it. Let's see. I might do one of those. All right. No, I wanted to be a teacher when I was young, but it didn't work out. I got a degree in criminal justice public service, but I hate guns. I can't touch a gun, so that didn't work out too good for me. And I had thought about going into social work, but I decided after some of the training I went through that none of that was really something I needed to be in, because I get too involved, and that's not good in the long run. So I went into retail instead. See, when it starts to get in where it won't do a nice perfect circle, just clean your paintbrush off, and it'll do so much better for you. I have two sisters, though, that are teachers. My sister Rhonda teaches advanced mathematics at the University of South Carolina. And then my sister Robin, she teaches art for kindergarten through 5th grade, I think. But I did, when we homeschooled our son, I taught some things to, some of the other children that were in our homeschool group. I had sewing classes for some of them, and they really enjoyed those. Uh-oh, I made that. Those dots are too big. But I'm just not going to worry about it, because you can go back and kind of fix where you've got a blunder. When you make the tiny white dots around things, you can fix things like that. So don't worry about if your dot gets too big and goes over something else. All right, so now I want to do something with this. Tell you what I'll do is I'll take some of my other backgrounds, and I'm just going to squish the paint onto these. And these will be the next group of artist trading cards I come up with for my artist trading cards a day. I'll make some smooshy backgrounds that we can use. I can use, or we can use them together, or whatever. We'll just use that as a cleanup one, and we'll go from there. Oh, thanks, Mia. All right, so the opposite side of the color wheel would give us orange. So I'm going to do some orange on here now. This is Americana Tangerine, actually. I love tangerine and this kind of aqua blue together. It's the only time I seem to really like orange. Orange is just not one of those colors I find myself going to very often. You know who really loves to shop colors is Scott. Scott is an amazing color chooser. I don't know. He just does so well. Got one of my LaCroix lemon lime cherry things again. They are so good. I just am addicted to them. I keep listening, hoping the cats will show back up. I'm going to come up a little bit from this stem here. Or stem or root or whatever. I'm going to come up a little bit so that I'm not taking up the same space. And I'm just going to start working my way to the next spiral. It's not wanting to do. I might have to clean it off again. There we go. Now I'm going to take it to this little spiral that's right here. Uh-oh. We got a little close together, but it'll be all right. I'm in the shadows. I'm getting a little too much again. I gotta. Scott keeps talking to me about flipping houses in our retirement. I don't know. I enjoy painting, but it sure makes my shoulders hurt so bad. I think I'll do one of these that are closer toward the top. Do this one here. This is something we could do for a swap as artist trading cards. Because you could put that in in an envelope. As long as you didn't add a whole bunch of stuff to it, you could mail it for a single stamp, which I think that could be a fun swap too for us. And when I'm doing the dots, I like to do groups that are odd, like 5 dots or 3 dots or 7 dots or 9 dots. An uneven number just looks more pleasing than an even number. See, I did 5 dots to start from the center out on each one, and now I'm just doing 3 dots. I called Scott's mom today, and she went on and on about how tickled she was that we brought that barbecue for her. She's 90, and she just thought that was awesome. So we were tickled we had done it. These dot things, you might think they're going awry, but if you just keep going, you'll find that it'll turn out better than you thought. And see there, I did 5 this way, and then I only added 4 that way. So there's 5 from the center in each direction. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but put 1 on my line and then do 3, 4, 5. And then on the other side, I'll only add 4. You can add more than that if you want to. See, I can add 5 that way. Go ahead and add more than that, but try to keep it at an odd number. I just find it looks better. You could add more, you know, by adding, maybe make it 7 instead of 5. I just was watching Mary do her tats, and I thought, you know, that combined with some dots could look really cool. So I said, I'm going to go for it. And I did. And that's how you get inspiration from one another. As you take it's like Mary said, you take something that she's done and make it grow. It's awesome. Now that's a thought. How do you all, like, if you participate in this month-long, what is it called? It's a hashtag event, right? If you participate in something like this, and how do you store your things? Do you put your art, like I know Mary's doing hers in her journal. Now, if you're doing them individual like I'm doing, would you put them in like a baseball card or sports card, whatever? I always call them baseball card holders, but you know, other people say they're not baseball card holders, but that's where you find them at, like Target. They're with the baseball card organization stuff. But anyway, do you do that, or do you have some other way? I'm just interested. Oh, you know what I should have done? A mushroom. A mushroom would have looked really cool in dots. I do have that other card over there. It's just not a nice, rich background. My paintbrush needs to be cleaned off. Yeah, the ATC a day 2018. That's how we're supposed to hashtag it, aren't we? So that Shell and Peg and everybody can see them. Because if you put that hashtag in a search engine, you'll get to see all of the artist trading cards that are coming up. Shell C's been making some absolutely stunning ones. I have a whole bunch of backgrounds that I have cut into artist trading card size that I need to just get used up. All right, so I've got some orange on each one. So we'll do some swooshing on our thing here. There we go. It's going to be an interesting background. So if we come back to this one, what color should we do? I'll pull the colors over and y'all pick a color. First one to pick a color. There's a green, pink, red, yellow, orange, or blue. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And I think I have some red, Holly says. So I'm going to just probably slide these in. I'll probably number them, like I'll pick one to be June 1st and one to be 2nd and 3rd and 4th, and then I'll be caught up. I had wet ones, but I've used them all up, so I've just filled my tub with water. Yeah, Mary's doing hers in her journal, which I think is an excellent idea. But since I have so many backgrounds, oh, let me show you something really quick. Evie to Quesadot, I can't say it. She's in Puerto Rico, and she's got a challenge going on right now to make her an artist trading card, an index card, or some inchies, I think. Or you can send her an applique. You don't have to do them all. But I found an applique in my stash here that I thought she'd like. And then I made this artist trading card for her. Uh-oh, what happened to my chat? Oh, there you are. That was crazy. Y'all disappeared for a minute. There we go. So this one I'm going to send to Evie. And this was from my cleanup paper. And I mounted it on some cardboard out of the cat food again. So I'm going to send that one to her. And I also, from the same cleanup paper, I made these inchies for her. And then I made this one to add to my stash. I guess I could have, or to my collection. Because when I make one for somebody else, I try to make one similar for myself so I can remember the swap or the challenge or whatever it was. So I made them, and I'm giving her one of one, and I'm keeping the second one. So these were fun to make. These were done with a cleanup cloth, and then I added a napkin, and I went over it with some glitter glue, and then I cut out, this is actually a butterfly sticker that had a border on it, and I just stuck it down to paper, and then I trimmed off the border just so it was just the butterfly. I gave it some wire antennas and used glitter glue, and I've only glued it down right in the middle so it sticks up above the paper. And I need to get that in the mail to Evie before her challenge is over, but I think it's for the whole month of June. Thanks, Mary. So we better get to the red before it dries up. And I'm just going to, because basically what I'm doing at the bottom here now is just going to fill up with color. I'm going to put just like a few dots of one color there and then put some on that side, just so I can spread the color out a little bit more. I just remembered to click y'all onto live, the full live chat instead of just the top chat. I always forget to do that when I first get on here. Is that a school bus? I thought school was out. Nope, that's a tractor trailer with a convertible on the back of it. I wonder if it's broken or if it's been repoed. You just never know. Scott was so funny last night. He said, let's go live. And I'm like, okay. He said, I want to catch up with everybody. All right, I'm going to have to put some of this somewhere else. I'll just, because I just need a couple small dots in the. It also depends on how hard you, how firmly you put your paintbrush down. as to how big your dots are. That's already drying on there. Ah, boy, Mary, I understand. It's so hard to resist when there is so much fun out there. It's like, yeah, I want to do that. I want to do that. And then it's like, what are you doing, woman? You're going to drive yourself nuts. But I just can't stop when there's just so much fun to do. When I saw this artist trading card today, and I'm like, that's easy. I can do that. And then I'm like, I was thinking last night, why did I take on another thing to do? Wednesday, we will be doing the June paper bag page. And I am thinking about going ahead and binding the first 6 months together. I know Mary's going to add hers to her Society for Idea Collectors book. But I'm thinking I'm going to turn mine into 6 months at a time. I didn't get much added to my my May one. I thought I'd have a whole bunch of stuff, but I just never got things in it. I saved some stuff. I just haven't added it. So we'll do a catch up on that paper bag journal on Wednesday. That is not making a nice round dot for me. Sometimes you just have to say, nope, can't do it. Sorry. But it's so hard when you want to participate in everything. And I missed Dawn saying she was in escrow at Let's Make a Mess. And I'm so excited for her. I know she was doing so much to get the place ready. So I'm tickled to death that she's nearing the end of that journey and the start of another one. I can't get another color in there. And sometimes, you know, you might make a project doing this method and it might not turn out at all, but it's practice makes perfect. And you don't have to have it, you know, exactly matching on both sides. If there's not space enough, don't worry about it. Don't worry about adding more to it. So this one I won't add any more color to, but I will come in with the white Posca pen and we'll add some white dots with that one. So I'm not going to add any more color to that one. Thanks, Mary. I love a metal spatula for spreading paint. Because you can pick up the least little bit of paint and add some to a background like that. All right, so let's add some yellow this time. Oh, Dawn. Well, at least you made it. That's all that matters. She got her time zones messed up. Yeah, I'm East Coast. We've just been sitting here making dots. And there's Lisa. Who else have I missed? Lisa. I saw Eva come in earlier. Oh, graduation. Who's graduating, Eva? Oh, I've got this air conditioner unit behind me set at 70, but I don't think it's getting down to 70 in here. It's a little above 70, but outside it's miserable. Janet says she's going dot crazy right now. All right, so let's see if I can get in here. Oh, see, now I've got a glob on there, too big a glob, and it made a non-round dot. Let's see if I can fix it. I need to call my mother before I forget to do it. They're having a shindig on the 23rd for my stepdad's birthday, and I think they're making hot dogs, and I was going to offer to do the hot dog chili because my hot dog chili is better than anything out of a can. I learned to make that from my mother-in-law. She makes some awesome hot dog chili. Oh, it's got too much paint on it. Just trying to fill in a little bit. Ooh, the camera's having trouble with them dots. It's going, whoa! Dawn, I actually painted the back. It's just plain mixed media paper, and I painted it with just Americana's lamp black. But you could start with black cardstock if you didn't want to paint a little bit heavier. I just like to do the artist trading cards with a little bit heavier paper. Janet's caught the dot craze. Let's see, what can we do on this? Let's see. Let's do see, when it doesn't make a round, that means you got too much paint built up on it and it's getting crazy. It's going crazy on itself. Well, Scott got a tickle out of y'all telling him happy birthday. He thought that was really sweet. Thank you so much. for adding to his birthday fun. We got down there and Greg told us that dryer wasn't working, and Scott's face just fell because he was like, oh, now I've got to troubleshoot a dryer. And when he found out it was going to require a part and all that, I said, look, just swap it out and we'll get busy on getting some work done. And then it was like he just lost interest in a lot, and then he started mowing the lawn, and we got a lot done. It's just not as much as either one of us had hoped to get done. We keep telling ourselves we're not in our 20s or 30s anymore, and we have to accept the fact that our bodies, they can't go as long or recover as quickly as they used to. I think I'm going to make the handle yellow. On my Dottie cup here. I think the cup and the feather are going to need some help from the Posca pen at the end. That's all I'm saying. Oh, Lucia. Okay, if you're in group 1, you'll see the message from Lucia, but she's had a death in her family, so be patient with her. She's got to go out of town. She'll get back to us. Don't you worry. I know. I feel for her, though. Losing a family member is never easy, that's for sure. Time to clean it off again. Eva's getting help, as my grandmother used to say when I was little. I'd say, I'm only trying to help, Grandma. And she'd say, help, help. And I'm like, why are you screaming help? She said, because I need to be saved from all this help. She had already raised 9 children of her own and several foster children before I came along, and she took me in. So I guess she was tired of being helped. I just feel like the feather needs some yellow now. Let's see if we can add some here and there. He's so full on that other side. I'll leave him alone now. He's wild. Oh boy. You know, life, my grandmother used to say, life comes in threes. If you have 3 births, you'll have 3 deaths in the family. If 3 people get married, 3 people will get divorced. She said everything comes in threes. That's how life is. Everything is in threes and in equal amounts. And I hope she's wrong on so many of that. All right, I need a little bit. All right, I'll change out colors now. I'm going to use my scraper again. Hi, Ruth Lamb. I'm going to have a very pretty background for another artist trading card at this rate. Plus, I have my background paper. All right, so we've still got pink, green, orange, or blue. There goes the blue on the floor, and it's closed. I know that's a worry for Mary because she drops it behind her desk. See, it's even amounts, but she always said threes. I hope for everybody that that's not true. You like the black? We can go get you another piece of paper and do it on black. No biggie. So I'm looking in the camera and I'm looking at the colors I have left. I think I'll do blue. Oh, what a mess. Okay. The cap is all full. Well, time for another paper towel, I think. I will try to clean that up later. I just got to remember. See, this is the one I dropped too. Yeah. I'll see if I can take that in the kitchen and clean it up. Oh, did I miss something from Susan? All right. My hands are getting all purty too. That's the best part about paint, is you get to decorate yourself as you go. All right, so let's put some of this blue on here. And see, my pencil marks that I made at the beginning are barely visible now. I had too much paint on there. So you see, that's what happens when you don't tap off, when you get in a tight area. tap off a little bit before you start on your whatever you're working on, so that you don't get that great big blob. Because the first blob off is the biggest one, of course. And if you don't have a whole lot of room where you're working, it's best to tap off that first dot. Boy, that's blue. I'm going to do my outline of my cup. Oh no, y'all are gone again. There you're back again. That is weird. Oh, we're missing Tippy and Howie. We got home yesterday and Callie came when we called, but we still haven't seen Tippy and Howie. And we heard this strange noise outside, and Scott went out and said, "Get out of here." So I got up to see what he was shouting at, and he said it was the light caught just some eyes looking at him, as two sets of them, and then we heard all this weird noise, and I looked fox. So I'm hoping some red fox haven't toted my cats off. I'm hoping they'll just pop up and just like, "Oh, I made you worry. I'm back." But every time I go out and I try to call Tippy and Howie, Callie comes, and it's like she comes to comfort me. So that makes me worry more. I mean, she comes running from wherever she's at. So hopefully the boys will show up. I'm hoping they've just gone off, hunting somewhere, and are, too busy with their own lives to worry about whether I'm worried about them or not. I hate leaving them and, being gone overnight. I mean, they have places they can get undercover here. They can get on the porch, but that's not going to stop a predator if they really want them, Tippy's such a tiny cat. If I felt like he would travel well, I would take him back and forth with me, but I don't think he would handle a 2-hour road trip every other week, just because I'm nervous about him being here outside, and we can't leave him inside. I'm just kind of filling in with dots now, here and there, just so I look full on my cup. But hopefully the kitties will show up. Howie stayed gone 2 extra days. Oh, we had 2 orange cats before the 3 we have now, and they were Tesla and Nikki, and they were our boys. And Nikki was polydactyl. He had an extra thumb, and he was long-haired. And he did the Maine Coon cat noises, and he would sound like a little old man groaning. He'd lay on a chair and he'd go, and then he'd yawn and stretch, and we just thought he was a hoot, but they passed on several years back. The feather I'm not going to touch anymore. I'm going to do I was thinking of blue stem, but I think I'll come back and do a green. And I've already added some blue to this one. I'm going to get another card. Yeah, and the chat is disappearing off the side of my lap where y'all go, but it's like y'all disappear every once in a while. We were getting some pixelated. I got a blue background. I might set that one aside and just leave it blue. I've got one more here. Do I have any copper metallic paint? Question. I pulled out. Let me go see what I've got. Trading card. I've got other metallics. We still got to do some tatting on here. All right. I have rose gold, worn penny, and bright copper. So you think I should add some metallics to these? All right, so we'll add some copper to fill in the rest of this stuff. We'll make it look like the cup is full of copper bubbles. And that one will be done as far as the dots. And then I can go in with the tatting. We could maybe even do some tatting coming up out of the bubbles of the cup. So I'm almost ready to start making some tatting stuff. And I'm just going to use the white Posca pen and see what we come up with. Oh, you're buffering. That stinks. I don't know what I can do because I don't think it's anything I can do to fix it. See, the reason I'm tapping off on the drop paper is so I have less paint on the back of my paintbrush so I can get in these tiny areas. There we go. I almost feel like that cup needs something else. So we can move on to, yeah, so far so good. Now that we're on the cable internet instead of Uverse, things have been going a little bit better. Let's see, I didn't have any more swirls. I just need to fill in some areas. I need to try to catch up with my sister that teaches art to the little kids sometime over the summer. She's always gone and busy on the weekends when we're down there, so I can't just go over and visit her. They do the Society for Creative Anachronisms on weekends, where she dresses up in medieval clothing and goes and fences. And then during the summer, while she's not, she's off from teaching in the summer, she throws pottery so that when she goes to Pennsylvania for Penzic, she can have a load of pottery to sell. She hand throws pieces and hand paints them. She has an Etsy store, but she rarely uses it. She's Clay Baby Pottery on there. Ooh, big dot. All right, I think that tree is pretty full of life on its own, so I'm going to leave it away. Oh, Susan left. Bye, Susan. Sorry I missed saying bye. She's probably gone already. Hi, Laura. I believe Holly's got a question for Dawn. Oh, I'm liking this copper with the colors. I really kind of like it a lot. I like it. I like it a lot. Hello. You okay? Cool. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, that's great, Greg. I bet that makes you feel better. You're on my live show right now. No, they can't hear you. I'm so glad it came in for you. Oh, no. Well, call me when you go on break. All right. All right. Love you too, bud. I'll tell him you said love you, Becky, friends. All right. Bye. His bank card got messed up, you guys, and he has been waiting like 3 weeks to get a new bank card. The first part of it was his own fault because he didn't check his email, but he finally got the stupid bank card back today. And you know, we used to write checks for stuff, and now everybody uses their bank card. Nobody uses checks very much. So I don't know if he even knows if he's got checks anywhere. His bank is clear on the other side of town. Oh, that looks pretty cool. I'm going to add some more to it. Sorry about that, guys, but if I don't take his phone call, sometimes he gets worried. So that's why I went ahead and took it. He sounds in a much better frame of mind today. I was really worried about leaving him to come back up here this week. He's outgrown his, high school friends that he had as teenagers. They're still wanting to act immature, and he's ready to grow up, and they're not, that where you outgrow certain friends, that's happened, and he doesn't really have anyone down there, and his schedule's opposite his grandmother's, so when he wants to talk, she's sound asleep, and it's just been a bit of a rough month for my boy. Be there for him, as a mom is. Said he was making hobo meals in aluminum foil, and all I could think is it sounds like the campfire meals that they make at Cracker Barrel. I'm overlapping some of my dots just so I can get some of this copper in here. Ooh. All right. I'll look back up here in just a minute. There, now it looks like I'm off our coffee cup. Dots, dots. I'm seeing dots. Let's put this copper on this blue. Whiskey. And I'm just going round and round, and it's making like little wave marks on here. It looks pretty cool. I'm playing with my extra pieces too, so I'm kind of glad I had them on here. Making some other backgrounds with not a lot of effort. See, I have a stack of these backgrounds, so I just need to make an artist trading card every day, and that that looks kind of pretty like that. I'm going to let that dry. That's right. No time for drugs. Greg's friends all want to still go out drinking and stuff. He's like, can we go for a hike instead? Can we go for a hike instead? Can we let's go find something to do. And she and he would go, like they visited the South Carolina Alien Welcome. He would go, like they visited the South Carolina Alien Welcome Center. There's this guy down in a small town in South Carolina. Look it up. The Alien Welcome Center in South Carolina. I'm having fun with this copper paint now. I'm having fun with this copper paint now. But things like that, Greg likes to do. And he's even like, he's was talking with them. He's like, let's all rent a beach house, hang out at the beach for, it wouldn't cost that much if we, all got a house and we shared the cost of it. But no, they didn't, any of them want to do that. I'm kind of glad they did it now, because I'm going to pick the rest of this up on here. I'm smooshing it. Ooh. We got this one we can smoosh on. Oh no, you guys are buffering? Oh, I seem to still be here. It says I've got 8 of you, 7 of you. I'm sorry it's buffering, you guys. Sometimes if you refresh, sometimes that helps. And also, if you go down at the bottom of your screen and click on the little gear, and you make sure it's in HD 720 or above, because sometimes if it's like if you're below that and it's put you back to the basic whatever it's called, I can't remember what it's called for some reason, it will slow you down, you're buffering from. All right, so let's play with Posca pen now. Let me see if I can figure out which one's the one that's really good. That one. Yay, that one. Do is just go in and make tiny dots between some of these others. I just ordered some of the colored Posca pens, because all I've ever used is these white ones. And I see Chelsea using the colored ones a lot. And they just look like fun, so I ordered some for myself. I'm just trying to fill in some of the space that's still quite black in the tree. I should have rewatched some of Mary's videos so that I'd have fresh in my brain how to do her tatting. But hopefully if she sees me messing up, she can tell me. Yeah, not getting access to your paycheck is really had Greg in a bad mental state, put it that way. Because having to get up out of your sleep to drive all the way across town to get some money so you'd have cash in your pocket was getting to be a pain. And plus, this is how kind-hearted my kid is. He found a kitten that was hurt really bad, and he took it to the Pets Incorporated, which is a no-kill shelter, and he paid them $80 to try to save her, but they couldn't save her. She'd been run over. But he'd heard her crying, and he couldn't just leave her there to die. So he tried to save her. And that was another reason he didn't want to go back to the bank, because it was going to remind him of that poor baby. Yeah, I haven't thrown out my other one yet, Janet, because I saw where you had told me, was it the Frugal Crafter has instructions on how to refill these with white paint? So I'm not going to buy any more white ones, that's for sure, now that I know that that's out there. I'll have to go and see if I can catch up with Lindsay. That's cool to know. And that'll save you a good chunk of change, too. I'm all for saving money. Y'all know that. Well, I think I'm going to let that be it. And let's see if I can remember how Mary did her. I didn't leave myself very much room. So she did a corner jobby thing. Oh, I wish I'd watched the movies now, or the videos again. Oh, no. That's horrible, Janet. Yeah, Lindsay is the Frugal Crafter. You should check her out. Let's see if I can. Oh, I wish I'd looked at it again. Start with big loops. Big loops. I just don't have a whole lot of space, so I'm going to do the best I can with this tiny little space. And maybe put, I don't know what to do. Or little loops. Okay. I'm acting like these loops are going off the page. And then they'll come back on the page. Mine's not looking as pretty as Mary's. It's just I'm jammed up here. We'll see what I get. Guess I should have practiced some before I came on here. And I'm sure I'll get a comment like that. In the comment section, I'll get some comment where someone says, I didn't want to watch you do things and mess up. Do y'all get comments like that? It cracks me up. It's like they're perfect. And then you go and look, and they've never made a video in their entire life. This one might be a fiasco. Gotta put ants in my ant farm. Well, I don't guess it looks too horrible. Looks pretty bad, but I might just put a few on each side and say that's good, because the more I try to fix it, the worse it gets. Oh, well, I'll get it. It just needs practice, and I need to watch Mary's videos some more. Might label this one needs practice. This is true. This is true. All right. I don't know, Mary. I think I need practice. Ah, there you guys go again. There you're back. Every once in a while, I have to put my painted out ant back. Ooh, you know I can. I've got black right here. Let's let it dry, because if I try to put black on now, it'll just smear. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to practice some on here. Uh-oh, somebody's home. All right, which kitty will have returned from the great wherever? Hang on, let's see if it's one of my boys. Oh, it's just Callie. Hi, baby. You haven't found your brothers yet? You haven't found them? Is it hot? Is it hot? Yeah. Just Callie. You want some catnip? They'll be able to hear you tearing this up all the way over there. Ooh, catnip. Oh, let's rub it in. All right, there you go. That's all you're getting. You don't have much left as it is. I don't know if y'all can hear her or not. She's digging the daylights out of her cardboard thing. Paint it out and start again. Might have to combine your tatting onto a bigger project. I think I need more room. Maybe that's my problem. I just need more room. Meow, she says. What? What, dear? Oh, you've been outside a long time and you need canned cat food because it's been forever since you had some. Just breakfast, right? All right. So the challenge will still be to combine the two ideas. I just don't think I can do it on this small of an area. So what I'm going to do instead is just add borders. I'm thinking. And I'm thinking I'm going to do it with that copper paint. That's rose gold. Where's the copper? Here it is. I'm just going to add a thin line around them with a paintbrush as a border. I need a really fine paintbrush. Teeny tiny. This one's been around so long, it's got some bristles missing and all, but it'll give me a nice skinny line. Lisa, are you doing pick 10 tonight? I'm not worried about this being an absolutely perfect line. I just want to add a little line around it as a border. Oh, Rose is listening and resting. I'm going to put Lisa's if you do it tonight, I'm gonna do it with you tonight, but I'm gonna write down the prompts on sticks as you do them. And then tomorrow I might do another one out on the porch while Scott is still sleeping, using your same prompts, but re-pulling them from my jar. Oh, there goes the chat again. But I'm going to try to practice Mary's tatting stuff and add it as a border onto something. But I think it's going to have to be something a little bit bigger. Or maybe the two are just too busy. It was just an idea I had. And sometimes my ideas turn out to be flop. And then other times they'll be a lot of fun. So this is just one of those floppy ideas I had that I don't think it panned out too well, but it was it was an idea. I had it. We tried it. Didn't work out as well as I thought it would. I don't know why I got out so much paint, except I like having the backgrounds made up, I guess. This poor old brush only has like 6 bristles on the one side or so. But I think that looks pretty cool. Maybe we'll add a little quote or something. I've got some Tim Holtz words there. I could add a word or something to them. Yeah, I think that's what it is. This is just an ATC is just too it's just too small to do 2 involved pieces together. You know, I just saw the dots in your tatting and the dots in these pictures like this and thought, gosh, they look pretty close. You know what I'm saying? Busy. The busy value is about equal, put it that way. Lisa, I liked your doodles you did during your yard sale, but man, as hot as it's been, I just can't imagine having a yard sale right now. This is true, Dawn. We never know until we try. And now we know. Gonna need a bigger space. I had envisioned doing something of my dots in the middle and then having a tatted border. I thought that just would be so pretty. But instead we'll have copper borders instead this time. Wishing that mail lady would go so I could get my mail. We got our absentee voting things we got to get in the mail too, but I got to go across the street and get Ethel to witness that I sealed the ballot in my envelope and Scott sealed his in his envelope, so we weren't coerced to vote, you know, any particular way by anyone. I'm going to pick that up with a paintbrush and just add it to this one. Ooh, that's got a lot of black in it still. So there's 4 artist trading cards. I'll look through the words here in just a second and see if we can come up with some that look like they'd go. Yeah, they look like little ants in an ant farm. There's some dendritic effect on here where I smooshed the blue before, so it looks kind of cool underneath. I'll pick up the rest of it on this one that's all different colors. And it's almost 5 o'clock, so I guess it's good that I kind of messed up a little bit because Now I've got 4 done here. I'll pull out those words. They're sitting right there. We'll see what we can come up with. These are the, I got the big chat, and then these here are more like sentiments. They're clipping stickers. I could put lesson 175 on here. Don't try to combine 2 things on too small an area. No. These I got for 75 cents, and they were normally $3. Hobby Lobby's been having some great clearance sales. That's all there is to it. Ah, how about that one? Challenge the world. I always wonder how the khaki color is going to look, but I've got that copper paint on there. Do y'all think the khaki goes okay, or should I just forget it? The good thing is you can about stick these back in. Leave the words off, Dawn says. Okay. So just leave them like this. Sounds good to me. So it's 4:44, and I was going to get off at 5. I was trying to think if I had anything else to share with you guys. I still haven't heard from Mary for the other tag I have. Mary something. Oh, gosh, I can't remember her full name. She's in Australia. So we're going to leave these like this then. I'll write on the back, you know, artist trading card. I'll sign them 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of June. Put them in my book just like that. I wonder if I can find those. Just slide them in there. So anyway, we learned that we need a bigger space if we're going to combine the 2 techniques. I guess what I could do is I didn't add any more white to these other ones. Or should I just leave them alone? I was thinking I'd add some white in the cup to fill it up. Ooh, okay. I'm up for string painting. There is a lady, Helen. She's down in Georgia, and she's, I think, in her 70s or 80s, and she's been doing string pulls in epoxy that will blow your socks off. And she does a lot of stuff in concrete. She gets out there and she mixes that concrete up, and she makes bird baths, and she made mushrooms and crosses. And she's just an amazing person to watch. So amazing. I'll have to remember to put a link to her channel. You guys got to give her some love because she's awesome. And her channel has grown. I mean, she's got thousands, like 30,000 subscribers. She is that enjoyable to watch. And I love it when something doesn't work out. She says, well, that didn't work out. And then she just goes on and she just keeps on going. She doesn't let anything stop her. She has a really good attitude. And what you can do too is we could go and we could just glue a gem down on there. Like at the center of the flower at the bottom, I could stick a gem on and give it some dimension. Bye, Dawn. Everybody go take a nap and come back and watch Lisa. Okay, guys, I'm just going to fiddle with some white dots, and I'll share what I end up with on Wednesday. And I'll probably do a video on the porch with the pick 10 sticks for tomorrow morning, but I'll do that out there. I think it's Helen Wyatt, I think. W-Y-A-T-T. And she starts all of her videos with like, hello, this is Helen. Have a blessed day, or something like that. She's awesome. I would go look for it, but the computer won't let me now. Not with the setup I currently have. Yeah, Wyatt Dove. That's Helen right there, you guys. If you haven't checked her out, go check her out while we're waiting on Lisa to come back on. And thank you so much for coming in. And I leave the chats up on my live simply so people can find links and things that Janet has been so sweet to help me get loaded on. Janet's awesome at it, Vicki, man. She goes out there and finds them, and she's back. Woo! Like that. Okay, dear ones, I will see you guys on Lisa's show, and I hope everybody has a great evening. And I will see you all later. Take care.